And next year, your property tax bill will be that $16,500. Are you one of those people that are moving to Austin or buying your first home, let's say, and you hear everyone talking about the property taxes, and yet maybe you don't like numbers? Or maybe you just want somebody to explain it to you in plain English. I can be that for you. You might even be in a house right now and have no clue what you're paying for property taxes. Or worse, you don't even have a homestead exemption. We're in Texas, and that could be saving you thousands of dollars. Lucky for you, I made a video about that forever ago showing you how to check if you have that. But if you already know what a homestead is, go ahead and press that like button for me. Why? Oh, because I'm pretty sure I'm about to save you some money somewhere. For those of you visiting my channel for the first time, I go by Ian of Austin. I am a gentleman, a scholar, and your next realtor. Speaking of, you know if a realtor's out there shooting blanks? It's when you ask them what the tax rate is in their area and they start looking around like they're lost. So you just discovered two things about them. Either A, they haven't gone through the process, like they don't even own a home themselves, or B, they have no idea what they're talking about because maybe they're still green. That's actually not as strange as it sounds, because just because you own a house doesn't mean you paid attention to every step in the process. There's a lot of people saying a lot of things in your face, and at the time, all you care about is when you can move in and how much it's going to cost you. All right, so let's get on with it, Ian. I'm going to teach you the easy way to find out what you'll pay in property taxes in Texas. No complicated formulas, no foreign language, 3-step process. Step 1 is find the house you're interested in. Step 2, learn the tax rate. And step 3 is just figure out what that means to you monthly. Now, I'm glad you're still with me so far because I've got some bad news to give you, and I'm going to give you some right now, and I'm going to save the other bad news for a little bit later. Your first bit of bad news is that in Austin, Texas, every neighborhood, or just about every neighborhood, can have a different tax rate. There are some commonalities, but think of it more like a ripple effect. In the city, the taxes are lower. But then as you head toward the suburbs, the tax rate generally increases. And then after you're like 30 miles or so out, further than most people want to drive, then it starts to come back down again. And then there's actually a correlation with when homes were built, like what you're paying for taxes. So there are certain pockets of neighborhoods where they have a really low tax rate. Poor Texas. But it could still be like twice as much as it is in some of the other places you may hear about. Oh my God, I just found out the average property tax that people pay in Tennessee, it's less than I pay for a year of car insurance on my Tesla. Don't worry though, I'm not going anywhere. I've been to Nashville, Memphis, Gatlinburg, and I can tell you, I would still much rather keep it weird. Okay, I said you needed to find a house. Well, we know Zillow's not the answer. Actually, it's pretty difficult to find a tax rate for an area. So if you know any secret ways to find tax rates, let me know in the comments below. Light them up. You see, I have them in the MLS, which is our real estate database, but there are a lot of people that don't have any kind of like special level of access, and so then they have to go through one by one and find it. So then we'll have to take a stroll on over to our tax appraisal district website. If you're going to be living in Austin proper, it's Travis County. If you plan to be north of Austin, it's Williamson County. And if you're thinking south, it's likely that it's Hayes County. My job is to make your life easier, so you can find all of that on
ianofAustin.com.
So now when you have that tax rate, and here's the magic sauce, you multiply it by what you plan to pay for the house. I know I said I would make it easy, but there's just one little tiny calculation and then we're done. So if you're buying a house for $750,000, you multiply that by a tax rate of 2.2%, and next year your property tax bill will be that $16,500. And I'm almost certain there's 12 months in a year. So if you were to pay your taxes with your mortgage payment, the $1,375 will be added on top of anything else you're paying monthly. Now you might still get discounts, which are called exemptions, but that's a whole other conversation. And so when you're looking at these online calculators on some of our favorite websites, now you can see why the numbers are off. They're like way off from real life. Remember how I said I got bad news. Well, not everybody understands this when they're looking, but generally a new construction home near Austin with all those fancy pools and their dog parks and splash pads, well, you'll probably get taxed a lot more, but it might go down over time. But also over time, what happens to the value of your home? The price that it's worth if you were to sell it. Well, so when you think after a while you'll pay less in your tax rate, the value of your property is going up. So unless you do that homestead thing I told you about, it's pretty much a wash. And I know you've heard that you can protest your property taxes, because that is your right as a property owner in the state of Texas. What you're actually protesting is the value or the worth of your home. The tax rate itself, well, that won't actually change. I know everyone who subscribes to my channel will save money over time because I talk about property taxes way too much. It's my mission to help people understand. So I'm excited to see that subscribe button turn gray. And so please stick around to check out some other videos that might interest you.